Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you again in the Fitness Chronicles. I can't brain this morning. It's too early. We are here, and Anna Adams, IFBB Fitness Pro. I am here with my amazing co-host, the amazing Shelly Fredua Mensah, and
Thank
AKA
you.
the current Miss Fitness Olympia. Shelly, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. And you are amazing too.
Oh, this time difference thing is fun. For those of you who don't know, it is 6 a.m. here in Middle Tennessee. It is noon in London.
Yeah, and I finished everything. Woohoo!
She's all like up and she's like, I'm done with my day. And I'm like, I just rolled out of bed. But welcome to the Fitness Chronicles, everybody. We are so excited to have you today. We are actually, we're thinking about doing some myth busting today. That's the biggest thing. Within the fitness division, there are a ton of misconceptions about our division, about things that you have to do or don't have to do, or all these things having to do with, fitness that I wish more people knew about. And that's where we come in. We're going to explain and basically debunk a lot of these myths. First and foremost with fitness, and I think Shelly will agree to this, everybody, and I even believe the same thing when I first started. Shelly, as you know, has a very heavy gymnastics background. I, however, have zero. My mom put me in a summer camp once. That's the most gymnastics I had. I think I was 7 years old. My mom put me in a summer camp.
Well, glad she did, because look where it led you.
I know. Yeah, I learned how to do a round off that year.
That's still good. That still counts as a kick,
The,
right?
get the basics, right?
Yeah.
Start with the basics. Do the same
Yes.
thing in baseball, football, soccer, or football, wherever you're
Yeah.
from. Start with the basics. So the biggest debunking that we're going to make today, the myth of fitness, is that you have to have a heavy tumbling or gymnastics background. You do not.
Nope.
Case in point.
And I
Um,
learned that myself.
do most of the girls have some sort of background, whether it be in dance, gymnastics, cheer? Yes, they do, and it is helpful. But within a fitness routine, I will let Shelly go over the requirements again. But one thing that you will not hear in the requirements is a back tuck or a back handspring. So, Shelly, would you like to tell the audience what the four requirements of a fitness routine are?
Gladly. So the four requirements are actually a side kick. So that can be a straddle jump if you've seen them around. It can even be a kick to the front. Then we have splits, side splits, although you could show, all splits. So it could be a left side, a right side. You could do a box split and turn. You can get creative with it. You also have a press up of any kind. Again, a press up of any kind literally means a press up of any kind. So you can do the flying ones, but it doesn't say you have to do a flying one. You can make up your own variation of a press up as long as it looks like a press up and goes up and down. And a straddle hold. Again, straddle hold can be done in many ways. It can be done pressing from the floor, it can be done in a handstand, it can be done in a handstand coming down, it can be done from another skill into a hold, pressing down, and you can then join them all together if you wish.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it. That's the four main requirements. For my Americans out there, a press up is a push up.
Oh, yes.
No, I just love the fact that we all call it very, very similar things, but slightly different. And
Yeah.
so, I love, you know, I caught myself the other day, be like, where's the bin? I was like, trash. Dang it, Shelly.
Or
So,
rubbish.
oh, rubbish. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm gonna, Shelly's gonna start saying y'all, and I'm gonna start saying like English terms.
Oh, I love that. I like saying y'all. I find that quite fun. Hey, y'all. Yeah, let's not do that randomly.
Be walking down the street and be like,
I might try that. I'm one of those people. I like to see reactions.
please video it.
I will. It's kind of entertaining.
But yes, one of the most common misconceptions within the fitness division is that you have to be able to do tumbling. And does it help? Yes. Do most of the people who have won fitness in the past or won the Olympia have something in their routine like that? Yes, but it's not a huge tumbling background or it's not a huge tumbling pass. Um, if you guys remember Tangi Johnson, Tangi had somewhat of a cheer background, but she wasn't a great, like, big tumbler. She threw a couple of things in there, but she relied on her power and she played to her strength, which was her explosiveness. Okay. Um, Oksana Grishina, five-time Olympia winner. She has one back handspring in almost all of her routines at most, or
Yeah.
a a back handspring step out. So it was always just something very just elegant, very fluid. And all of these routines that she did, she showed her strength in her other skills that were her background. She had more of a dance and a ballet background because of in Russia, that's what she was in. That's what she started out in was dance and ballet. So she used those things to her strength. We didn't really see your huge, big power tumbling until Missy Truscott come along. Missy has a very, very heavy gymnastics and cheerleading background. And that's where a lot of her strength was in her tumbling. And if you notice in I believe it was 2024 Olympia, she obviously, because of her injury, she had to scale back her tumbling and focus on more strength moves. So, like more core strength, handstand holds, flexibility, all of which she was able to do, but she scaled it down and still was able to do well and win Miss Fitness Olympia, showing that you don't have to have huge power tumbling. Is it great to have? Sure. Does it look great on stage? Yes. Um, One of the things, and this is probably one of those hills that I will die on, and I know there's a couple of girls, maybe two girls that are like, no, I don't agree with this. But I think most of them will. I personally think that a banned move within the fitness division should be a full layout.
I do as well, actually.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, but I do. I think also because we do it on hard floor and the impact, it can eventually lead to, I think, injuries.
Serious
Um,
injury. So, for those
yeah,
of you who don't know, a full is basically when you are in what is almost like a pike, like a straight line, not a tuck where you actually bend your knees up, but you are flipping like this, but at the same time, you are doing a 360 at the same time. So, you are spinning in multiple vectors. And the reason why I feel the way that I do is that I've seen so many girls who are thinking, "Oh, I have to be more complicated on stage. It's not cool enough to see a back handspring tuck. It's not
yeah,
cool to see that. I got to make it bigger. I got to make it better." And even for my girls who have a heavy, heavy gymnastics background, a full can be very on a spring gymnastics floor, sure, throw them all day long. We don't do competitions on spring gymnastics floors. We do them on hardwood floors. We do them on
yeah.
lifted stages that have little to no, spring or bounce to them. Um, the 2022 Legion Sports Fest and Night of Champions with Becca Sizemore, those are the two best stage I have ever been on. I can't say anything about the Olympia stage in 22 was okay, but it was
Yeah.
like a theater stage and they put like a 2-inch foam mat down, which
I mean,
absorbed everything. And I
very
was exhausted
safe,
by the
but
time.
yeah,
It was safe, but by the time I
not
got
good
off
for
that sucker,
handstands.
yes.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But those two stages between Legion 2022, because I think he changed the stages for 2 years and then added a different one this year. And then of course Becca Sizemore, Night of Champions, Chattanooga Night of Champions. Chattanooga Night of Champions to me personally, hands down, the best stage for a fitness routine. And she
I haven't
made it that
looked at
way
it yet.
for us. You
Yeah.
have a 3/4 to a 1/2 inch carpeted stage that does not move. It is foamed, it is the grip on it is down, so it does not move. And it is carpeted, it is a lifted stage, and you've got a good bit of bounce. Every single routine that I saw there this year and the last year and the year before have just been beautiful. You get so much power, you get so much height, and it works out really well. But we don't always compete. We don't compete ever on a gymnastics spring floor. So if that's where
Yeah.
you want to throw your full, go right ahead. Personally, I've seen way too many girls over the last 13 years of doing this, you
Uh-huh.
know, and I started in 2017, so 8 years of fitness. I've
Yeah.
seen too many girls get hurt trying to make their tumbling passes more complicated.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've always seen is that, Missy Truscott, she did a full, went into another back handspring, wanted to do another back handspring layout, and, you know, shattered her knee.
Yeah.
Told bore ACL, MCL, and meniscus. She had like three
Yes.
tears.
Yeah.
And did she have did other things come into play as to why that happened? Sure, I'm sure it did. However, could it have been avoided? Yeah. And I think it was this idea of you need to make things more complicated. And I've actually had a judge who I believe has been talked to about this
Mm.
say, throw some more gymnastics, something more exciting, like a full. And I looked at that man
Oh,
straight in the face and I was like, is that a requirement?
okay. Yeah.
And he was like, well, it's not. I go, you can get hurt doing that very, very easily,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have that, or if you just have a cheer background and you don't have the heavy, like full background, that
Yeah.
a full was something to me that like you only got once you started getting to a certain level.
Mm.
And to me, it's just too dangerous. That's just my opinion. I could go on
Yeah.
and rant about it, which I probably just did, but
Well, I think they must have listened because when I came into it and was getting noticed by, the top judges, they said to me not to focus on tumbling, even though I had a heavy tumbling background. They told me to focus on my strength skills, and getting those in. So I think, yes, some turnaround happens. But I also got told I can play to both, but making sure that I focus on the mandatories, and then to get creative and show power, then I can add in the tumbling once I've covered that. So I came in thinking I needed to tumble, then got told, no, you don't. And that was so end of 21 is when I got my pro card. So 22, 23 is when I got this feedback.
awesome. And that's one of those things that I think, does it help? Yeah, sure. Make it more exciting, make it more
Yeah.
you. But it doesn't have to be something like totally just a huge tumbling pass back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, and the great example that I made earlier is five-time Miss Olympia,
Yeah.
Oksana Grishina. She has a single back handspring that she used to do a back handspring step out, where she would do a back handspring and step out of it and do something different. Or most recently, her last routine that she did, I think in
Pushing over.
24.
It's a
Yeah,
back
or
pushing.
2023, she would do a back handspring into like a worm type roll and then
Yeah.
do something else out of it.
Yeah.
And it was just one. It was just one. Everything else she just played to her strengths and she just added something else into it.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, you can use it as transitions as well.
yeah.
I done that. I mean, when I first came out, I have to say I did blast a routine, and came out with a layout, But at that point in time, it felt good to do that.
Hmm.
And I did score high, but I then didn't do much more after that. Um, but then if we go on to 224, I tore my hamstring at the Arnold's UK. And then I had to really concentrate on the mandatories. And then I ended up doing, I think one or two backflips, if that. Um,
I remember
and
one. I think you did like
one,
a back step out.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, two. Okay, that's it. And before that, I had about six in there. So
Hmm.
I really scaled down and I ended up scoring the highest I've ever scored in routine rounds since that time. And even this Olympia, I did a round of back handspring, no
Hmm.
layouts, nothing into somersaults. I did do an X at the beginning
Hmm.
and one somersault to go into my straddle hold, by the way. So
Right.
it's like a transition. They're
Yeah.
all
You used it
transitions
as,
to me. Yeah. So, and again, I did the best I've ever done, just by doing that and just concentrating on those core mandatories. And I'll probably say this over and over again. And then using other things as transitions rather than it being the main attraction.
Right. I
Yeah.
think, I don't know if you remember Atlanta Pro last year. I did and the year before, or yeah, 2024, you and I were on stage. I did
Yes.
a back handspring and I used my rebound as a switch split, as a um, switch change to a split.
Yeah, that was a cool move.
But it was just something to get me to the floor
Yeah.
instead of, because people don't understand is that in fitness, you have to transition left to right wherever you're going, but you also have to have a good transition from up to down. So one of the things that I thought of I could do, I was like, well, why don't I just do something that just looks cool? And it was just a back handspring, and I used the rebound from the back handspring to switch, split, and then landed in a split. And it wasn't because I'm a huge tumbler, it was just I needed something to get me to the floor.
Yeah.
That was it. So, no, you don't have to have a huge, heavy gymnastics background. I started taking gymnastics lessons. I'm 38 years old. I started fitness when I was 30. I started taking gymnastics lessons one-on-one privately with a coach when I was 33. So I've only been doing gymnastics for 5 years, and I like just got an aerial.
Oh, yes.
So,
Fine.
it's one of those things that like I did and I could do a back handspring when I was 33, 34, 35, but I wasn't putting it in a fitness routine unless I knew for a fact that I could nail it because I wasn't comfortable enough mentally to throw it in there. And then finally, I think in 22, I finally did. So it doesn't have to be something outlandish. If you're able to do that, great. If not, it's okay. Like play to your strengths. It's not a mandatory skill. Play to the mandatory skills.
Yeah. And think outside the box. I
Yeah.
think, again, there's another myth that you need to watch everyone and copy what they know.
Yeah.
Literally,
Golly.
you know what? I think the best thing that I did, because I thought, oh, I need to get this girl. To be fair, I was frantic at one point. I was like, I can't even, my body doesn't go that way. So I think the best thing to do is look at the mandatories. Yes, you can look at, others for inspo, and there's lots out there. However, I would say look at it, great, put it to the side and think, okay, how can I kick? How can I do a press up? How can I do a split that's going to suit me and, give that impact and make me cover the actual mandatory skills and be neat and smooth and, all these things that we do need as well. I think that is the best way to go about it because it will look better as well because it goes with your body and how you feel, and you're covering what needs to be what is required as well. So, I think doing that is going to put anyone in a better place when it comes to fitness. Because the mandatory skills to me, actually, when you break it down, are pretty simple.
They're very simple.
Yeah.
And that's what's so funny about it.
Yeah.
Um, they're very, very simple. And that kind of
Yeah.
comes to my next kind of like subpart, sub asterisk point is if you can't nail it crisp, if you cannot be deliberate and efficient with how you deliver a skill, don't put it in a routine.
Yeah.
If you're going to throw a skill into a routine that you know is shaky and you're not 100% sure that you can nail, don't put it in a routine because it will show. Either you're going to fall out of it or it's going to look sloppy and it's not going to look deliberate and it's going to take away from the overall performance.
Yeah.
So, that is one of our big myths that we are busting today is the idea that you have to have a huge gymnastics background or have to have a lot of tumbling within a routine. No, you don't.
No.
Second, big myth buster, and this gets on my nerves. And I'm going to preface this with understanding that social media is not always what it seems.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to be bigger.
Yeah.
It drives me insane to hear it when I hear women say, "Oh, I don't want to do fitness or I can't do fitness because I need to be bigger all the way around."
Yeah.
Okay, define bigger because I'm 5'9". I am ginormous compared to every woman that steps on stage next to me, and I don't think I'm too big at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you look at someone like, I have a picture and I gotta find it somewhere, but Allison Kramer, I know Allison has put on size in certain places, but Allison, for those of you who don't know, is a very like short, petite little one. Okay. Allison Kramer, beautiful. Actually, Allison was with you in the top two in call
Yeah.
outs for the Olympia for the physique
Yep.
round.
Yeah.
Okay. Allison's structure is gorgeous,
Beautiful shape. Yeah.
beautiful shape.
Yeah. We gave each other a run for their money. I ain't
You
gonna lie.
did, and it
It was
was
actually
awesome.
amazing
It was
to stand
awesome.
with
It was
her. Yeah.
amazing. I
It was
loved
amazing.
it. I
I
think it was
lived
both
it.
like I think it was Andrea Glass and me both were like, yes, I believe it's going to be these two people at the top, and sure as I'll get out. Um, but I have a picture. Allison is a short, petite little thing, and so looking on stage, you're like, oh my God, she's huge. I don't have that much muscle. I have a picture of me carrying her. I'm 5'9". She's maybe 5'3". I'm gonna give some grace and maybe 5'4". I have a picture of me holding her like a child. She's not ginormous. She's not huge. Everybody looks at Jacqueline Baker and go like, "Oh my God, she's massive." No,
Yeah.
she's not.
No, she's petite as
Quit
well.
looking on social media as this like comparison of something because when you see these women up close and personal, they're not massive, ginormous beasts. They're
No.
not. They're
Even
still they
myself.
yeah,
I'm not,
no.
in person. Yeah. So
They have developed a physique that fits their structure.
Mhm.
And a lot of it is fullness. A lot of it is deep tissue work, blood flow. You know, do some of the girls who are coming up need to put on maybe a little bit of size? Yes, because there is a shape aspect. But you can counter shape with several different things, with fullness, with conditioning. You can counter it with all different things. It's not that you have to, we're not telling you to put on 15 pounds of muscle before you step on stage. And the biggest thing is that the physique round is 1/3 of your score. So the overall goal is to be someone like yourself who is competitive in both. You've built the physique that fits your structure. You were told to size down.
Yes.
What was your feedback at your first Olympia?
My first Olympia was, well, my routine. I had the mandatories,
Mhm.
yes. I showed strength, but it appeared that I looked like I gassed out towards the end or fizzled out or whatever the word is. I looked like I struggled to get to the end of the routine, which doesn't show bode well for endurance.
No.
Um, so they said to me, they think it's because of my size as well.
Hmm.
As well as I did look quite big compared to other girls as well, like not just in the routine, but in the physique round. So if I was to downsize, but keeping the shape, keeping the fullness, which is quite difficult, by the way,
Mhm.
um, I hopefully should be able to get through my routine a bit better. So, it all made sense to me because I was thinking to myself afterwards, like, when I was a gymnast, I never, even a cheerleader, and I did cheerleading to the age of 27. I started bodybuilding at the age of 30, going on 31, by the way. I never got told I gassed out. In fact, I had too much energy. I had to slow down everything. So I was like, how is that a thing? Because I don't feel like I'm gassed out, but I can feel that my body is heavy. That's the difference. So I had to figure it out for myself. And I thought, oh, actually, yeah, you're right. I do need to downsize. And I remember when I lost like the first kg, which is about 2 pounds, it made a huge difference. In the end, that I ended up losing about 27
Oh, wow.
pounds. So my Olympia before this one, 224, they said I went a little bit too far. Oh, I put a little bit back more size
Too
because
far, too
I
far.
lost the fullness and was flat. But
Mhm.
we live and we learn.
Yeah.
And so now I've combined the two together, and I feel like I'm at a really good place to fit both now. So it does take a little bit of time to get to know, but at the end of the day, we do not need to be bigger. as you said, we need to be able to get through both rounds as successfully as we can for ourselves. And that's what counts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the my pup.
Yeah.
Anytime he hears the neighbor getting into their car, he starts growling just to let me know that I'm safe.
Aw, well, at least he's protective.
He is. He's very protective. I pulled up and I'll try to screen share, but this is a great example, the difference between reality and not.
Yeah.
So if you look at right here, so this is our winner of our Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Amber Steffens.
Yeah.
Amber is maybe 5'1".
Yeah.
She has fullness in her shoulders. She has beautiful shape, tiny waist. And then obviously her conditioning is, I don't, Amber's conditioning is like this at
Insane.
every show.
Yeah, literally.
Her feedback is never be more conditioned,
No.
ever.
No.
But this is just an idea of what people think. Be like, oh, I have to be bigger. No, you don't. If you saw Amber in real life, you would understand that she is a small, petite person. She's a big golf fanatic.
Yeah.
She has a very heavy cheer background. Her and her husband both actually met cheerleading.
Yeah.
So when you have this idea of I need to be bigger, no, you don't. You need to fill out your structure that you have. Not put on, you don't need, and this is another thing people don't understand. There are a ton of women in this sport who are legitimately like just all around great natural athletes. We have a ton of women within our division that are natural athletes. And it's a little disheartening because the Ben Weeders this weekend, those are
Yeah.
women who have gone and done natural pro shows, who have won those natural pro shows, either previous or current years, or this past year. Um, but there's so many more than that.
Yeah.
you know if we were able to have one show in the US that was nothing but all of our natural athletes, you'd have at least 12 women that showed up to that show,
Yeah.
and all of them have beautiful structures.
Yeah. You could have more.
Yeah.
There's so many. I think there's like 95% of fitness is natural.
There's a very
Yeah,
large
very
portion of
large.
fitness,
Yeah.
very large portion that are natural athletes. And so this idea of, well, because that kind of goes into the I need to be bigger. Many women, especially young gymnasts or people who may have a gymnastics background who are in bikini or fit model, and they're like, well, I want to stay a natural athlete. You can.
Yeah.
Great example, Taylor Lairmont, little T, for anybody on social media who knows her. She is natural. And being a natural athlete, she has been able to build a physique on her structure that is beautiful. She came in,
Yeah.
I remember her first Olympia, she got so much crap because she didn't look the part. I'm like, she just got into this.
Yeah.
She won her pro card several years ago, took like, what, 2 years off,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
To
more,
build, right? Think
and
more,
then
maybe. Yeah.
something like that. And then
Yeah.
did Legion, won
Mm.
Legion, and then did her first Olympia and got second. Now, mind you, in that Olympia, Whitney Jones got hurt and
Yeah.
Whitney got her shoulder, dislocated her shoulder, and Missy busted her knee.
Yeah.
We don't know where she would have placed had Missy finished her routine. We have no idea.
Yeah.
But that even being said, your routine counts for 2/3 of your score, and she knocked everybody on their rear end.
Yeah.
She just she
Yeah.
stole the show with her amazing routine.
Yeah.
Did she
Every
get
year she has. Every
Well,
year.
and here's the deal. She's gotten feedback every year about with having a gymnastics background. Hey, we don't want to see your setup. If you're going to do a routine, we want to see we want to see you go from one move to the next to the next. Amber is a great example of this.
I got that as well, by the way. I had the same. Yeah. Don't want to see the setup.
We
I
don't
had
want to see
that
the setup.
at the Arnold's.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's where I decided to make things up, like the frogs and all sorts of things.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And Amber's a great example of this. Amber's routine is very, she's gotten better about like sticking a move and just like yeah, like look at what I just did. Now I can go on to the next move, which is what they want to see. They
Yeah.
don't want to see a bunch of hesitation. There's a difference between sticking something and then hesitation into the next move.
Yeah.
Hesitation, you look very unsure
Yeah.
or gassed. And what Amber does, and I noticed this at Night of Champions, where she does one of her tumbling passes, which is just like a bunch of either front walkovers or back walkovers. She literally comes to the stage, she just dive rolls into one thing, comes up, does a high kick, turns around, and then just goes. There's
Yeah.
no like set up into it. And I understand, like even I do that. It's because mentally I'm preparing myself from what I'm about to do.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that breath.
Sometimes you need that quick breath. And for someone who doesn't have a gymnastics background, literally in my head, before I set up a tumble run or any type of run like this, literally what's going in my head is, hope this works.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in my head. Amber's a great example of somebody who, before she does any type of run, she doesn't do a setup. She just turns and goes. And but that has a lot to do with how she has practiced and gotten herself out of that habit and how she performs it on stage. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, So, yeah, they don't want to see your setup. But you don't have to be on gear. You don't have to do any of those things. And Taylor just was, I think, is a great example of that. She's a natural athlete. Um, she focuses on the routine, but also grows her physique that fits her structure. And she, again, you've met her. She's not a
Yeah.
big person. She's not
No.
huge. Um, she just she just fits her structure. She fits her bodily structure,
Yeah.
and it gives her beautiful shape, which
Yeah.
is one of the criteria is shape. You
Yeah.
know, do they want to see someone on stage that has no muscle mass whatsoever? No, but they
Yeah.
don't want to see that in any category.
No, exactly, because it's
Okay,
Bollywood.
I don't know if you've seen some of these bikini girls,
Yeah.
but they got like they if they flex. They've got striations in their quads. Like
They're
their
quite
shoulders are
muscly,
built.
actually. They're
Their
quite muscly.
shoulders are
Yeah.
built.
Yep.
Like this is not it's not a get lean contest either.
No.
It's not. There's other criteria
Yeah.
and much to
Well, it's
you
playing
said.
to the rules, isn't it? Of your category.
Yes.
That is it. Like you have to take your category and just look at that and be like, I'm focusing on that. Because again, I've seen others mix categories together and I'm like, where are we at right now?
Yeah.
Have you looked at your categories rules? Not this one or this one. And I have to say I was bewildered by how many people don't know. They just go by what's been told. And I'm like,
Mhm.
have you looked it up yourself? If you really want to do this as well, have you done your own research? That's
Well,
another one. Yeah. So,
and one of the other things that I've heard someone say was like, well, I need to get my glutes striated. And
well, yeah. Mm,
I'm like, show me the rules where that needs to be. Okay,
yeah.
because the only category that wants females with glute striations is women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people that when you get so lean you have striated glutes, good on you. Wish
Yeah.
I had that problem.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, no.
But that's not it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
And if you do have that, great, wonderful example of God lover, Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Jones gets inside out lean, and she has striated glutes. When she walks, they feather, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have that problem. But she's like, I can't flex my glutes when I'm on stage. I go, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
because it's not the criteria.
Yeah.
When you flex your glutes on stage as a fitness competitor or as a figure competitor, they box your glutes out
Yeah.
so they don't look full and rounded, which is what they want to see. Okay, which goes to the fullness look or shape.
Yeah.
Fullness accentuates your shape. Shape is a criteria.
Yeah. And they only want separation, by the way.
No,
So every muscle separate. That's
yeah,
it.
that's it. They just want the separation.
Yeah.
So, myth number two. Myth number three is going to be my favorite because I love reporting on my Instagram about really crap coaches.
Yes.
Like my favorite thing to do is call out poor, pitiful coaching. And
Yeah. I
I
do
don't
love watching your stories
the
and
rants.
your because pretty much anything you post comes up when I'm either just about to go to sleep if I'm a bit later,
Sorry.
or I see it in the morning. I miss it when you ever put it up, initially. But I like it because it's like either I can look at it before bed, and which is quite nice, when you're just chilling out, and it's so entertaining, but so right and so accurate. Or I wake up in the morning and I'm like, whoa, look what she put. That's fun. So,
This
but yeah,
yeah.
check out. I think check out your page, Anna's page, because yeah, within the entertainment part, there are some serious home truths.
Yes. My Instagram for anybody who doesn't know it is Miss Dot I said what I said.
Yeah,
And I have fully embraced that handle. It used to be just like Anna underscore Adams underscore IFBB Pro. And then
yeah,
I started doing these rants about poor behavior, poor coaching. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody's thinking it. I'm going to be the one to say it.
yeah.
And that's where I got it from. And I'm going to continue to do so. But myth number three, coaching a fitness athlete is the same as coaching any other athlete.
No.
That's a lie. No, it is not. Do you coach an athlete the same way, a fitness athlete the same way that you coach a figure athlete? Partially.
Yeah,
We still have to have the same structure as a figure athlete.
yeah.
However, we do have a endurance aspect. We have a performance aspect to our routine,
Yeah,
to
which is
our whole,
2/3.
just two-thirds. It's only
Yeah,
two-thirds of our score.
yeah,
It's wonderful if you can sit there and just have this statuesque, just statue of Adam, like beautiful figure, just this pristine, timeless shape. Wonderful. It don't mean crap in fitness if you cannot perform your routine. Period.
yeah, yeah,
So, is coaching fitness like coaching any other athlete? No, it is not. We have to have our energy sources around our routine practices.
yeah,
Period.
yeah,
We require more recovery time.
yes,
We require more energy for one aspect of what our training is than we
yeah,
do for anything else.
yeah. We probably
So,
require more rest as well.
yes, more recovery, more rest. So, that needs to be taken into consideration with everything else that we do.
Yes.
I,
Also,
you,
our nutrition is that means our nutrition is going to be actually very different.
yes,
Um, so we can't just diet down. No, we got to think, what is our schedule like? When are we doing our routine practice? Do we have enough energy to get through this routine adequately? When are we doing our weight training? When are we doing cardio if you need to put cardio in? All of these things because we could end up exhausting ourselves because we are doing a lot more in terms of volume, I should say, in a different way. And as you said, we need endurance as well. So again, we need something to fuel our expenditure, which we are putting out.
yes. We, some people, and some coaches do and some coaches don't, but our routine practice, and here's the deal, not every routine practice is us doing full outs of our routine. A lot of us, when we do routine or skills practice, is us doing hit like workouts
Yeah, or
to
sections.
increase our endurance, to be able to make it through a 2 minute max routine
Yeah,
at max capacity. So you may have a hit session, and then a day later, now you're practicing your routine or parts of your routine. And then
yeah,
the next day, you're working on skills.
Yeah.
which is exhausting within itself. But
Yes.
if you're working on either tumbling
Mhm.
or on one day if you're working on um, say strength holds, just
Yeah.
your handstands, or just your straddle holds or straddle
Mhm.
hold pull throughs or whatever this is, that's exhausting.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of shoulder work. That's a lot of core work. That's a lot
Yeah.
of energy expenditure that your bodybuilders aren't doing.
No.
Your
Yeah.
wellness competitors in classic physique, they're not doing that.
No. They do their weights, their cardio, and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
We do so much more. And what's amazing is that people fitness has kind of like lost the glamour of what it used to be because people lost, I think, respect for it. But if you go up to a pro bodybuilder and ask them, hey, what's the hardest division to compete in?
Yeah.
I guarantee you 90% of them are going to say fitness.
Yes. Actually, in
Because
fact, yeah.
understand this, as we are backstage at a show, lean and getting ready for our routines, and they're about to go on for their, second look on call outs or whatever the case is. You're open bodybuilders, by the way, mind you.
Yeah.
Um, at, I live just down the road from Brandon Curry. I go to his gym. Brandon will tell you all the time. He's like, I love fitness. I couldn't do fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness is the hardest division. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. I've been told that many a times. And yep, open class as well.
Hmm.
They always say, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you wake up and do all that. I don't know how you're about to do this weight training and then go and do that, or vice versa.
I did a small little interview when I was at the Pittsburgh Pro, and Rough Diesel, like one of my favorite classic guys.
Yeah.
He even said he's like, he goes, I get out of breath doing a front double bicep. I don't know how you do what you do.
That's fun.
And I was like, we appreciate the respect, and that's one thing that I
Yes.
wish fitness still had a lot more of, and we're starting to get back is the respect that we have for what we do.
Yeah.
Because what's crazy is that we love what we do. We love it because it fits all of our personalities.
Yeah.
But hearing that from other divisions that are more popular than us is very, very like, I don't know, it's kind of like that little pat on the back that I think the division,
Yeah. It's very appreciated, I have to say.
yeah,
You know, when you hear it, you're like, oh, okay. This is,
thank you. We are seen.
we are definitely seen. Yes, yes. It's just trying to get this out, out there back in the whole bodybuilding or fitness industry,
Yes.
of what we do. I think somewhere, as you said, that connection got lost. But yes, it is coming back, and we are going to try our best to bring it back even more.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, no, coaching a fitness athlete is not the same as coaching every other athlete. And the biggest takeaway from that is our caloric intake is going to have to be different from any other athlete, specifically around our fitness routines. We need to be able to recover from our hit like training. We were probably going to require more rest. So our splits are going to be different. For example, my coach is Nick Trigili, and I know a lot of people are going to hate that, but ironically enough, me and Nick have very, very similar personalities, which is probably why we get along
Yeah.
so well.
Well, you should, I think having good personalities, that go well is good for a coaching, client relationship. And I
Yeah,
think sometimes that is also missed. And also like coach hopping. I don't really believe in it because a coach really needs to get to know your body. So as soon as one thing goes wrong, you're like, oh no, I'm on to the next. Sorry, bye. And that also messes with emotions. It also messes with your mental. And then you could have been onto something with your coach. It does take time for them to get to know your body, and even it does take time for you to even get to know your own body within the sport that we're doing and what we are doing. Even myself, I don't fully think I don't understand my whole body yet. So, and that's saying a lot, but I still think there's so much more I could understand. And every day I'm discovering something. It might be minute, but it's something, you know, where I'm like, oh, I can build on that. And even from a coaching perspective, we're always like, oh, okay, you responded that way. That's interesting, you know?
yeah,
So, and it's different situations as well. It takes years to go through all these situations, and I know there's more to come, but so I think, obviously, if you do need to change coach by all means because of say all of the things like that, yes, you should definitely change coach. But if it's something to do with someone getting to know your body and you haven't given them time, I think you do need to give them time, but you can discuss it with them.
Right.
Don't be afraid to say why. And I often hear, oh, my coach said, I'm like, but do you know why? No. That's what I mean by do your research yourself as well and ask your coach, why are we doing this? And that will put you in good stead. Now, if your coach doesn't know why, okay, maybe you need to change coach.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And if your coach, and if you're giving your coach a lot of information and it just feels like they're not listening,
Yeah,
bring that to their attention.
yeah,
Bring that to their attention. And if it's still, even after you bring it to the attention, then okay, there's something going on.
yeah,
So for example, I work with Nick Trigilli. I love working with Nick, but Nick's like is huge about recovery, inflammation, things like that. So he specifically like I have different plans for different days. So if I'm not, my split is different. So when I get further and further into a prep, closer to a show, my weightlifting days decrease and my skills practice days increase,
yeah,
hoping that my body's going to hold on to the muscle that I do have and we're going to feed it appropriately so that I don't start to obviously atrophy
yeah,
and that I'm not eating away at my muscle. But also take into consideration that I'm fueling my workouts that I do have and my endurance and my gymnastics and my HIIT sessions and using that as portions of my cardio as well.
yeah,
So my cardio that I do have, I'm restricted. Hey, only do this type of cardio because you're doing this type of HIIT workout. I don't want you getting too inflamed doing, 45 minutes to an hour on a Stairmaster when you have
yeah,
gymnastics the next day.
yeah. Doesn't make
That
sense.
like it's amazing to me because I finally had a coach that like understood that. And
Yeah,
it's not that he understood a lot about like, oh, I coach a lot of fitness athletes. It was I understand women's hormones, I understand inflammation, the
yeah,
inflammatory system. I understand all like I get like you're basically an endurance athlete is what you are, and that's how I need to treat you.
yeah,
And in doing so, I've been the best that I've ever looked. Um, you know, and I don't have personally, I don't think, and this is just, imposter syndrome, but I don't think I have the resume in fitness that a lot of women do. But I've also taken 2 years off separately, 1 year each, to dedicate towards other things.
yeah,
So I ran myself into the ground in 2022 to get to the Olympia stage,
yeah,
but I'm not entirely proud of all the things that I was doing cardio and food wise to get there
yeah,
because of, you know, I'm not going to say it was only coaching, but it was many things involved
yeah.
that
Which
particular
adds up
year.
to the bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah,
And at that time, I was being coached by my ex-husband. 2023, I took off because my body desperately needed the time off and it just was not going to cooperate.
yeah,
2024, I started 2020, I literally, in end of 2023, I ended up going through a separation and a divorce. Um, very traumatic. It was
yeah,
not good. And I looked at Nick. I tell everybody the same story. I looked at Nick and I said, um, okay, this is what's going to happen. Either you prep me for a show or I
yeah,
become an alcoholic. Those are my two
yeah.
options. And he
Right.
was
Oh,
like,
and that's when you ended up with me.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's when I got to meet my Shelly Bear.
Yes.
So see, things work out the way they're supposed to.
Exactly. And look at us now.
But that's how it was. And so I competed. It was the best mentally, I was not completely there. And ironically, it showed in my routine. Mo at Night of Champions was like, I don't know what you went through this year, but I didn't see it on stage. Like your body looks great.
Yeah.
Your physique is so much better. It's the best you've ever looked, but just something wasn't there this year. And I was like, am I that transparent?
Okay. Well, yeah,
I was
body
like,
language,
well,
isn't it?
I was
Yeah.
like, noted. And then once I got off the stage, Nick was like, all right, we did it your way this year. You're going to do it my way next year.
I love that. It's
So,
fun.
in being a good coach and seeing all that I had been through physically, mentally over the last 18 months, he was like, mm-mm, time to check out.
Yeah.
And he was like, you are not getting on stage next year. And I was like, okay. Well, in doing so, I was able to dedicate a lot of my time to the fitness division, promoting it, so on and so forth. But my coach understood what I needed as a fitness athlete. And that was the first time he and I had ever worked together during an in season. And it was such a change to know that, hey, I can't have you doing your hit workouts and then going and doing 45 minutes on the stair mill. If you're
Yeah.
going to do your hit workout, get your steps in for the rest
Yes.
of the day.
Yeah.
If you've got gymnastics, don't wake up that morning and do 45 minutes. Like if you want to ride the bike or if you want to walk on the treadmill in an incline, fine. Do that. Eat your food, then go do whatever it is you need to do. Like he
Yeah.
was very specific on timing of food and rest and decreasing
Workout.
inflammation.
Yeah.
And when I would get too much in my head, I'm not seeing this, I'm not seeing this. He's like, how has your sleep been for 3 days? And I'm like, not great. He's huge on sleep. And
Yeah.
then that's when he gets into like the herbal supplementation of it. He's like, glutathione, where's your turmeric? Where's all these things that you need to help
Yeah.
your body recover? And I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that.
I do that. Well, I IV my all my
I saw
vitamins.
that. I saw your Instagram.
That made a huge difference.
It did.
Having and hormones, blood work, checking your hormones, making sure that's in check. At one point mine was all up and down.
Mhm.
And then once I got them back level off again, plus getting the right vitamins and minerals, um, it was great. And so I really would say home into that because that could be a cause of quite a few things. How you're feeling, fatigue, your emotions. Some people said when their hormones all over the place, they just start crying for no reason, and they don't want to work out, but then they do want to work. All these erratic things going on in the brain could be solved
Yeah.
basically, and
And
it may not be you dieting down to the max.
what's really funny is that a lot of times, all these is you'd be shocked at how much better you'd feel just with a B vitamin bag.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I take B vitamins. And what people don't realize is that if you've never, and something I encourage anybody, Nick does this a lot. If you've never done any type of genetic testing, I highly recommend it because there are certain genetic mutations in all humans that will actually show you what vitamins or minerals your body has harder times breaking down and absorbing.
Yeah, mine is iron. I actually did it.
Really?
Yeah, I had to. My daughter, when I was pregnant with her, my iron level was dangerously low, and they
Mhm.
gave me tablets, and then they realized I could not absorb it. So in the end, I ended up having injections every other day to find out, did the same test to find out that my body just doesn't tolerate it like that. So there
So
you
you do
go.
the IV?
Yeah, so I do the IV perfectly fine. Same with codeine, cocodamol. I can't take none of that. It makes me pass out for hours, which is not. Yeah, gas and air. Can't have that. I'm very sensitive to a lot of things.
Mhm.
Um, E numbers as well. So a lot of like pre-workouts and stuff I can't take. So again, me finding out all these things. Oh, I'm allergic to cauliflower. At one point, I was eating a bag of it. It was bloating me out. So got rid of the cauliflower, and wow, face shrunk. So the more of the story is get things checked out. Blood work, hormones, even finding out what you're allergic to could be a game changer. It could be like,
Yeah.
oh, solve that bloating that you thought you had to go on the stairmaster for 45 minutes to get rid of, when you
Hmm.
can just get rid of it in a day.
And that's another big thing is like, food sensitivity tests, understanding what it is, what works best for your body.
Yeah.
I figured out working with him, I kind of use it to my advantage because I use it when I need to not feel hungry.
Yeah.
I will cause myself inflammation so I'm not hungry. But peanut butter versus almond butter.
Yeah.
If I
This is
eat
good.
peanut butter, I feel like I just had like a whole bag of cauliflower. Like I just feel
Okay.
so bloated and inflamed. And if I need to go to sleep and not feel hungry before I go to sleep, instead of doing the almond butter, I would do
The
that.
peanut butter. Oh,
Yeah.
peanut butter does the opposite to me.
But almond butter, just so smooth in the gut. And I know that's the difference between almonds and legumes, but
Mm.
it's so amazing learning your body like that. And a good coach, not just a
Yeah.
fitness coach, but a good coach will help you learn that. And if your coach isn't having you, and this is so huge, if your coach isn't having you do blood work regularly, there's an issue. And I don't mean just before you start prep and after you're done,
Yeah.
like throughout,
Throughout.
especially if
Yeah.
you run into a roadblock of I'm not losing weight, I'm having these issues, I'm having mood swings, I'm having this, I'm having that. Like that is when, I can't stand it when coaches are like, all right, I'm going to put you on all this gear and all this extra stuff just to push you through your weight since we're stalled. I'm like, why don't you do some blood work first and see where those
Yeah.
levels are?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we could go a whole nother episode on just full episode on terrible coaching, but
Yeah.
we'll save that. But no, coaching a fitness athlete is not like coaching any other athlete. And so I'm all of these takes are very important that I hope people take with them to their coaches. Um, but here's the great thing. Learning how to coach a fitness athlete is easy.
Yes.
It's
Once
so
you get to
easy
know. Once you get to know.
once you get to know.
Yeah, and
It's
we're mostly very disciplined as well. Like we know
yes,
we have a lot to do, and we want to get it done. So in that aspect, if we are given the right information and given the time to hear what we think as well and listen to us, I mean, it can be great to coach. Yeah,
exactly. Um, and just to kind of plug for those coaches as well. There are several coaches who are very, very used to coaching fitness athletes. Jody
yes,
Boom is a huge coach. She's out of Canada. She is a retired fitness competitor. One of her clients is also a big fitness coach, which is Stephanie Jones.
yeah,
You had Whitney Jones, who Miss
yeah,
Fitness Olympia coached, and somebody she used to work with a long time ago, Damien, was a big fitness coach.
yeah.
Um,
I'm coached by Whitney.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I, there you go.
So I do know, if I'm not, so you also coach fitness competitors. You have two of them.
Yes. Yep, over here. Yep.
Yes. And then I think Andrea Glass is another one that's out in California, East Coast of USA. And she coaches fitness competitors as well.
Yeah.
So I know Oksana has a couple that she has coached over the few years. I know Oksana, and here's the thing about it too is that you don't have to be there. Like they don't just do nutrition and fitness. Like they
Yeah.
also do like choreography help. Like I went
Okay.
and worked with Whitney for choreography, but had a different coach for my nutrition. Totally
Yeah.
okay. If your fitness coach that you have does not have to be able to choreograph your routine. Like
Yes.
there are
Yeah.
other outlets for that. They need to be able to how to take care of you as a fitness athlete with the inflammation and the hit workouts and the routine workouts and like keep you healthy throughout your entire journey.
Yeah.
But they don't have to know how to choreograph a routine. We have other avenues for that.
Yeah.
All of us are more than happy to, if you ever reached out to any of us, hey, what do you think of this skill? Hey, what do you think of this set that I have, this
Yeah.
15 count or whatever, or 8 count? We all help each other out. We all
Yeah.
give each other feedback.
Yeah.
So that's
We're like a
not something that
family.
yeah, your
Yeah.
coach, whoever you hire, doesn't have to be able to do that. We have other avenues for that. And we have,
Yeah.
because that is a particular niche that you need
Mm.
to be good at. And the best people that are good at it are the ones that have the most experience in it.
Yeah, you can also work together. I worked together. I had another fitness athlete, Kaylin. She's now like taking a break. But I worked with her coach. So I did all the fitness side and she did the other side and we merged together. And, she actually got her pro card, by the way. So
More fitness girls.
yes.
Well, see, when,
So again,
yeah,
you can combine. You don't have to be, "Oh, I need to go to my coach to go. No, you can introduce your coach to us and we will work together. Because we all want the same goal. We all want to grow fitness. We all want, if this is your passion for you to be successful.
exactly. And like I said, I had a different coach at one point, and I went to Whitney for routine help. I had two
Yes.
coaches. Um, so that aside, we're always willing to help anybody get better.
Yes.
So speaking of, if I'm looking at the time correctly, in a couple of hours, I'd say probably about an hour and a half, our fitness girls will be stepping on stage.
Yes.
So
How
we
exciting.
have this weekend, well, I say weekend today,
Yeah.
we have the Ben Weeder Naturals,
Yes. Yeah.
um, which is in Virginia. So, yeah, East Coast. Um, and I misspoke earlier. Andrea Glass is West Coast. She's in California,
Yes,
West.
she is. West Coast.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
West Coast. I also misspoke last week when I said that Nicolette Szabo had won like her Olympia qualification. She won a natural show, which won her a qualification to the Ben Weeder. Whoever wins the Ben Weeder obviously goes to the
Wins.
Olympia in
Yes.
2026. So
Yeah.
I apologize for misspeaking. But we have Miss Michelle Gales, we have Andrea Glass, and Tara Plum,
Yeah.
along with our recent UK, well, not UK, European winner, which is Nicolette Szabo from Hungary.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tara's from Canada and Andrea and Michelle are from the US. We
Yeah.
did have one other competitor that would have been five, which
Yeah.
was Jessica Zur
So yeah.
from Canada. However, due to an injury, she was unable to compete.
Yeah.
Do we know what kind of injury?
No, I don't know that bit, but I knew she was very keen to do it, but she did come off the Olympia stage. And these things happen, especially going from one show to another.
Right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, that's when we talk about rest, you know,
Rest and recovery.
rest and recovery. You have to get the right adequate amount of rest for yourself. Again, I learned the same. I came in guns blazing, and all these opportunities came up. I got invited to the Arnold US. I had the Arnold's UK. I had to do an international show. I had to go Olympia. I had to go Olympia again. Um, my body shut down at one point, by the way, and I did take time out. I did not do Olympia 223.
23. Mhm.
I had to shut it down. I actually came to that Olympia and watched, um, and that was the Olympia where Missy and
Yeah.
then Whitney, yeah. So I came to Olympia and watched because at that point I never watched a show.
I was just about to say, I remember seeing you and you were like, I don't know what to do. This is my first time not competing.
Yeah, it was like, it was crazy, crazy times, but I loved it. And I realized at that point when I sat in the audience and I didn't say to myself, I wish I was up there, that I needed to rest because I actually wished I was not up there. I was that tired. So I learned my lesson, by the way. And then after that, I just made better choices. Um, and that was it.
Yeah. With Ben, oh, we have the Ben. Okay, this is interesting. So with Ben Weeder, we also have Fitness Masters over 40. And so we
Yeah.
also have Nicolette Spencer with
Yeah.
us at that one. Because she did not win an open show, she's not doing the open, obviously, but she is doing the
Yeah.
Masters over 40, which I think is awesome. So again, a lot of natural fitness competitors. Um, So Tara and Nicolette Spencer. So we have two Nicolettes, Nicolette
Yes.
Szabo and Nicolette Spencer. Nicolette Spencer, obviously being from the USA. Um, so I'm excited, and I would like to get your take on how you think this particular show is going to go. We'll talk physiques first, and then we'll
Yeah.
go routines. What are you thinking?
Oh, well, there's a couple of things. So they're all coming in with different shapes, different sizes, different amount of conditioning. So it'll be interesting. It depends on which way the judges are going to go with it, but um, I would say Terra always comes in conditioned, but doesn't necessarily have the complete shape. But
Mhm.
she does have muscle mass as well. So again, if you're ticking four or five of the box, 4 out of 5 of the boxes, that could be the shape they're going for example. And then you have Michelle Gales.
Mhm.
Beautiful shape, tons of muscle, but necessarily doesn't come in quite as conditioned. So, again, she's ticking boxes, but not maybe, the complete package. Should I say that? Yeah. But again, both of them beautiful in terms of how they put themselves together. So again, you have to play with what you have, what you've been given, and also, again, as we said, the routine. That might be how how Michelle functions. That might be how Tara functions in the routine. Because, I've seen someone come, especially with 4 people, you can come fourth in the physique round, win the routine, and win the whole thing,
Mhm.
which, quite a few don't realize because it is 2/3. And it depends on how the judges did their scoring as well, whether they put you all in first or first and seconds, or, it's all for play. And then we have Nicolette Spencer. No, Nicolette Zabo, sorry.
Sabo.
Yeah, I think it's because you said Spencer. Nicolette Zabo. She has again a beautiful, beautiful structure. But not as muscly as well. So again, the muscle development is not, as apparent as it is with, like, for example, Michelle or Tara. And then we have,
That's it. All four.
oh, that's all 4. Yeah, okay, I've
Oh,
done it all.
Andrea
Yeah,
Glass.
yeah, that's it.
Andrea
I was
Glass.
about to say, yeah, Andrea Glass. So Andrea Glass now for me is in the middle. So she does come in conditions. Maybe not as conditioned as some fitness competitors that you've seen, but she does come in conditioned. She does have good shape, and she will have, I would say, middle ground when it comes to muscle mass. So, you know, I think it could be interesting which way the judges go, because at this point, I think it can go either way. That's how I see it as. It's a very interesting lineup. Um, whether they're going to go for mass like Michelle, or whether they're going to go for a middle ground like Andrea Glass, or they're going to go for condition with muscle mass like Tara Plum. So,
I'm a little curious how this is going to play out. I
yeah,
think if I had to guess, because I know Michelle Gales has really been pulling for that condition card and she's been doing a lot more. And
yeah,
she's taken a little bit more time off in between Atlanta to now.
she has, yeah,
So she took a little time off and then she kind of started drilling it pretty hard
yeah,
versus Andrea,
that's,
who
yeah,
has been nonstop. And I know I have spoken with Andrea. I've,
yeah.
watched her podcast and all those other things. Um, Andrea is exhausted.
Okay, yeah, so yeah,
And she was having a hard time coming into the Olympia because she was so exhausted. Because,
yeah,
mind you, Andrea has basically been in prep for almost 2 years.
okay,
She
yeah,
had very, very little time off. Her body
yeah,
is gassed.
yeah,
You wouldn't know that watching her routines,
yeah,
but I do know like her body is extremely tired. So I'm curious as the type of conditioning that she's going to bring in.
yeah,
Her routine is going to be great. It always
yes,
is.
it is,
It's
yeah,
always just very well put together, very beautiful.
yeah.
Um, Michelle, who's had time off, who has shape and conditioning,
Now, yeah,
that's where it's going to come into
yeah,
play.
yeah,
Tara, obviously, I think is very potentially going to be in the mix. She's had more time to get a little bit more condition than she was over at Night of Champions.
yeah,
She's kind of dusted off those cobwebs of being out for 2 years.
yeah,
Um, so I think that there's probably if I had to go with it, I truly honestly think that the way that call-outs are probably going to go, and this is completely
Mhm.
dependent upon what Andrea's body does.
Yes, that's what I
If
was thinking,
Andrea's body is
literally.
on point, not tired, full,
Yeah.
and ready to go, top two.
Top two, yeah.
If it is exhausted and tired, and she's been really struggling to just keep losing,
Yeah.
then
It could
I'm
be
gonna say probably the way this is gonna go is Michelle, Tara,
Michelle.
Andrea, Nicolette.
Yeah.
Nicolette, who I did not even realize, um, um, oh, it's Nicolette Spencer, not Nicolette Szabo. So no, she's not over 40. Nicolette Szabo, I know when I saw her pictures from Europe, she does have beautiful structure.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think she could use more conditioning. I think she placed fourth
She did,
in
yes.
the
Yeah.
physique round last time.
Yep. Yeah.
And not, I think, just a little bit more conditioning in the legs, which
Yeah.
I know for natural athletes, even just for not natural athletes, it's also very hard to do to get
Mhm.
that. And it's not more condition, it's just the separation
So yeah, which
between
is muscle
the muscle.
development, really. Yeah.
Right. So between the quads and from the backside, I didn't really see a huge issue, maybe a little bit more development in the hamstrings.
Yeah, I
But
would say a little
overall,
bit more in the hamstrings.
right.
She had quite good V taper.
Yeah,
I think yeah, it's more to do with, as you said, the legs coming through.
right.
Yeah.
And which obviously will come with time, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, but if I had to guess, because I do know Michelle's conditioning is probably going to be a little bit more on point than it was in Atlanta.
If it
Um,
is, it's hers, I think. So
yeah.
yeah, she has the
So
complete package. Yeah.
as far as the physique round, I'm going to say Michelle, Tara, Andrea.
Yeah.
Nicolette. Those are going to be the way I place them right now. And again, that's completely dependent upon how Andrea's body's going, because Andrea can absolutely be that top one or two physique
She can, yeah. If she comes in on
based upon her
point,
shape.
conditioned, full, and again, it also then depends how Michelle comes in. So if Michelle does come in conditioned and she's already full, she's definitely going to be number one. And Andrea, if she came in, you know, conditioned, full, will be number two. But if one of them, you know, doesn't have one or the other, it can swap. And I know Andrea can win that as well. So it's all for play, actually.
Yeah. As far as routines, um, I think Tara's routine was awesome.
She's quite strong. But
Very.
yeah.
Nicolette's routine is very impressive.
I about to say, yeah.
So I would be very
Nicolette against
keen to see.
Andrea.
Yeah, I'd be very keen to see how Nicolette, because I know the other girls' ability and the routines. I'd love to
Yeah.
see how Nicolette's routine kind of compares to all three of theirs, because she has
Yeah.
a lot of strength, um,
It's
and
well
her
put
transitions are
together.
very smooth and it all runs together, like you said. So
Yeah.
I'm very interested in to see that. As far as women's masters between Nicolette Spencer and Tara,
Ooh,
um, I think it's going to go as far as physique. I think Tara is going to win that
Sarah.
round, followed by
Yeah.
Nicolette.
Yeah.
Um, and then routine wise, Nicolette's, I'm going to go probably more Tara than
I'm gonna
Nicolette.
go.
Nicolette
Yeah.
has great routines, great routines. I just think that Tara's routines, when she executes them, are a little bit more precise and crisp.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
And she has all those mandatory skills in it when, with the execution.
right. I think just Tara has a better handle on executing that routine
Yeah.
versus Nicolette. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. Nicolette's routines are amazing. They
Yes.
got
I've
everything
seen
that you
them.
could
Yeah.
ask for, and they're
Yeah.
awesome. I just think
Yeah.
Tara executes them a little bit better, so that's why I'm going to say probably Tara overall in that
Yeah.
one. Then we have our women's masters, Mr. Big, over in Portugal. We have
Yes.
Karina Harkerold. I love Karina. Karina, I call her Roomie. We were roommates at one of the Rael fitness retreats years
Yeah.
ago. So I call her Roomie even to this day. This was like 2021, and I still call her my Roomie, or 2020. Um, Karina is the only masters over 40 that will be competing in fitness over in Portugal. So the show is completely hers, but Conditioning, not a problem. One of those that, much like Amber, she always comes in shredded. It's
Yeah.
just how she is. It's her body. Um, and I'm super excited. I love her routines. She's so energetic. She's so spicy. I love her routine so much. So awesome. Thank you for representing fitness over in Portugal, Karina. We're super excited
Yeah.
for you. And
Yes.
good luck to all of the girls competing this year uh,
Yes.
at the Ben Weeder. And we will see how this goes. They'll be stepping on stage here shortly within a matter of minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Exciting. I will be watching.
I think they're actually about to step on stage.
Yeah.
But, and as far as I think we're right at our hour mark or a little past it.
Yeah.
So, anything you'd like to add to today's conversation, Shelley?
Um, no, I think we've covered quite a bit. I'm so happy about how this year has gone in terms of us and shows.
Hmm.
We've been filling up shows as much as we can, which has been great. And obviously we want it to continue. As well as everyone's been doing their bit to, really show what we are made of in fitness and our passion. So um, again, if you ever have any doubt, please just reach out to any of us. You might not want to reach out to both of us. You can reach out to someone else, but reach out to one of us, and we'll gladly help you and steer you on the right track. So I think that's my takeaway for you to take from this.
Awesome. This is gonna be like a little plug for it, but the next basically big upcoming event as far as fitness is concerned is the Women's Workshop in Orlando,
Yes.
Florida.
Yeah.
I am trying to help front run, kind of getting all of us girls together to have, a place to stay. Obviously, you are more than welcome to stay with us if Sandy doesn't already have you out there, Shelley.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, the Women's Workshop is, I believe, January 24th in Orlando, Florida. It is the all women's workshop hosted by Sandy Williamson. It is an amazing weekend. We actually kind of make it a big whole thing. Most of us get down there right around Thursday or Friday. If you're there on Thursday, we do what I like to call a team building time for fitness girls, and we make it a trip to either Universal or Disney, have some fitness bonding time. We have a large Airbnb, fits up to like 10 people, I believe, is what I reserved.
Aw.
As long as you're just not afraid of being in a bunk bed.
Yeah. It's fine.
We, you know, as long as you're not afraid of being modest, we have a 10 bedroom, let's see, it's a 10 person, four or three bedroom, two bath in
Yeah.
Orlando. It's not 5 minutes from the Avanti, which is the host hotel and the host venue. So if you guys want to be a part of that, please reach out to either one of us. We'd be happy to have you. And I look forward to seeing as many of you guys there as we can. It is January 2026, January 24th. 2026. It's our next big event. All female women's workshop. We'd love to see you guys there in Orlando. Um, and I think that's going to be a wrap for us this week
Yeah.
on the Fitness Chronicles. Thank you so much to my co-host, Shelly, for being a part of this. Shelly
Thank
out,
you.
Anna out. This is the
Yes.
Fitness Chronicles.